All right. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys doing well. The purpose of this stream is to do 2 tier lists. One, discussing the hypeness that I personally have for each of the characters. So this is not who I think is going to be the best characters, not who I think is necessarily going to be, maybe even not who's going to be the most fun for everybody to play, but simply who I think I'm going to have the most fun messing around with. So, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what each of our tiers are today. So, starting off, we have the top tier, absolute top tier, is Hyper Beam. As in, I am the most hyped to play with these characters. I cannot wait to check them out. I think they're going to be freaking awesome, freaking fun. And these are the characters that I think are going to be just, oh man, every time I see any gameplay of them, I'm like latching onto it. So, that's top, Hyper Beam. We have pretty pumped. You know, characters that aren't quite in that top, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 characters that I'm going to have at the very top here. Not quite to that level, but whom I love the idea of, and I'm willing to give them a great shot. Okay. And then we have Ready and Willing, characters I'm pretty middle of the road about, characters that I am willing to give a shot, and I am very ready for them to convince me that they're good. I'm ready to be convinced. Okay, and then after that, we have my meh tier characters I'm likely not going to touch, but anything's possible, you know, but right now they're not on my radar. And then last but not least, we have Cusco's No Touchy, characters that I cannot see myself touching outside of a random tournament, outside of challenges, right, where we have to use the different characters' moves. I cannot see myself using this character or these characters in the No Touchy tier list. So, that's the rules. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to be jumping around. I'm not going to fill up one tier or another. Okay, and this is the entire base roster of Street Fighter 6 that I have up here. So, let us start with a character who I would probably say at this point is my most anticipated character. And that's no small feat. So, I am actually going to give that spot to Dee Jay. I think Dee Jay is 100% in this top tier list. I am so excited to see this character like in action. I'm terrified to play against him already. I think that his mix is going to be nuts. I think that he's got some very cool visuals to what he's doing. And he feels truly unique out of all these characters. Like some of his fake outs that he's got, I think look awesome. Dee Jay has jumped around that top 3 or 4 area for me for a while. And right now, you can't fight with the heart feels, or however the saying goes. And I'm like, yeah, every time I see Dee Jay, I want to see more of him. I just want to see this character do things, and I want to play him. And I'm very ready to be disappointed. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very possible. However, I think that Dee Jay is going to come out, and I'm going to simply freaking love him. Cannot wait to play Dee Jay. Let's talk about Chun-Li. Why not? Let's go and talk about Chun-Li. So for Chun-Li, I am ready and willing to give her a shot. I am not excited for the character. I think that her stance stuff is awesome. I think that objectively, based on the beta, she's going to be great. She's a classic character. You got to give her all the respect in the world. However, right now, I don't think that she's anyone that I'm too interested. But if things work out, they kind of come together in the right way, I think she could be a lot of fun. I'm going to give that exact same description to Kimberly. Now, Kimberly, I think, is actually a little bit more fun looking than Chun-Li. I think Kimberly has some amazingly cool setups with the paint. She's got a lot of really neat ideas. But yeah, I think Kimberly, I will give her a shot most likely. I don't think she's going to be a top choice for me. But costumes could also really help because the design of her character, I think, is amazing. And I'd love to see her in like multiple different costumes and colors and everything. Okay, now let's talk about Ryu. So, Ryu, I have played him in the beta a tiny bit, and I've played against him in the beta, in the demo, right? I've played against him plenty enough times to know that he does have some interesting things going on. His install is sick. I like installs. However, there's like 5 other characters that have installs in this game, and a lot of them look a lot more interesting to me than Ryu does. So Ryu, unfortunately, is going in the meh tier. I respect people who play him. I think they're going to have a great time with him. But for me, personally, not a character I am overly thrilled to use once the launch of Street Fighter 6 happens. Let's talk about Ken. So Ken looks like he's got some very cool, very aggressive things. And back when I didn't know what Street Fighter was, and I was playing against Ken in the beta, in the first beta for this game, or the beta he was available in, I was getting whooped by him, and I got so frustrated and so pissed that it made me dislike him, even though I knew what he was doing was objectively cool. So while personally I feel right now I have him in the meh tier, I'm actually going to set him in ready and willing tier. I think that Ken is really cool, and he honestly has a lot of unique things that make him very different from Ryu, make him kind of stand out quite a bit, and I think he'll be cool. I think he will be a pretty cool character. However, not one that I am overly thrilled at in the moment, but I think that he deserves a slightly spot higher than Ryu. So he's going in the ready and willing tier. Okay, let's talk about Jamie. So Jamie's freaking cool, and Jamie would have been at the top of Hyper Beam if not for the beta, and I actually got a chance to play him a little bit. I think that his drinking mechanic is still phenomenal, but I think that a lot of his stuff was based on moves into Rekka, moves into Rekka, and moves into Rekka. And like, while I'm still excited to play him, he's no longer in my like top 4, top 5 characters that I really, really want to give a chance to. So because of that, Jamie's going in still pretty pumped. I am excited, right? I am pumped to see what Jamie's going to do in this game, but he is not he's not at the top of my list anymore. I still think he's an amazing character design. He is way too hot. His music is awesome. Really, really excited to engage with the character, but not quite as much as a couple of these other guys and gals. So let's talk about one of those gals that is at the top of my list, that frankly, the more I see of them, the more I am just blown away by this character. I think that they have so many cool things going for them, and that is Marisa. Everyone says Marisa. I think they actually say Marisa in the trailer. I think Marisa's so sick. The second I saw this character design, I thought that she was just awesome. Like a fully ripped out, yoked, 6 foot something tall woman who like is just gonna punch you, and she says like, take my love, take all of it, so she's got like this literal like tough love mentality. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love what they've done with her, and I cannot wait to give her another shot. Since we just talked about this character, or I'm sorry, this character was kind of connected to Marisa, let's talk about Manon real quick. So Manon is another stacking character, as in when she gets grabs, she gets stacks, which buff her next grab and her next grab, and it stays in between rounds. And I talk about this in a lot of my fighting games. I love chores. I love when you have something to do in like the down moments, not just getting Oki, right? Not just getting close to your opponent. You have things that you can do to kind of amplify what's coming next, right? So because of that, Manon is looking amazing. And right now, she's actually also in my Hyper Beam tier list. I think that there's nothing I've seen in the character that's going to draw me away from her. And I will be giving her a shot. I don't know. She's likely not going to be the first character. But, she is in that group of characters that I'm like, yeah, these guys are what's up. These guys are freaking cool looking. I cannot wait to play as them. So yeah, Manon, Hyper Beam, congratulations. So Guile, I think is beefy. I think his muscles are huge. I love how he looks like Brock Lesnar, but with a flat top. I love the battle damage on him. Also looks really cool. He was one of the first characters we saw the battle damage kind of come out on. So that's really cool. Guile for me, however, based on his play style, is definitely a meh. He is a zoner. He's a great zoner. He is, I'll zone, I'll wait for you to jump, and then I'll flash kick, which he's got the down-up motion for flash kick, and so that's a little bit easier to come out. Guile, I think, is cool looking. Nothing about his gameplay intrigues me at this moment. And so that is where I'm going to have Guile, at least right now. I'm not going to have him higher than that. Now, since we talked about the beta, let's talk about the character I played during the beta, and that is Luke. Now, I did not think I'd fall in love with Luke, and I was wrong. I've absolutely 100% fallen head over heels for this gym bro. I think that Luke is actually entertaining as a character. I think that he is easy enough to get started with. For example, you know, you do your crouch heavy punch, you can do your quarter circle back flash knuckle, and it'll combo, whether you hold it or you get the perfect timing. And so he has built in things with his character that help you as a noob start to become better at the game. He's got a projectile that's simple. He's got a Shoryuken input that's simple. He's got you know, combo extenders, as well as a technical somewhat of a stance, you know, his running stance. It's not good. I mean, you tack it on the end of combos, and eventually at some points you can get a free overhead in there. It's really not that great of a move, but like, it exists. So because of that, I think Luke absolutely blew away my expectations. And even though I feel right now like I'm pretty pumped to play him, like he shouldn't be up in this top tier list, if the demo hadn't come out and I wouldn't be playing him, you know, in the demo so much, I would have him up here. And so because of that, I'm going to also put Luke in this top tier. I'm actually going to put Luke right here behind Dee Jay as my most anticipated character to play for now, because I think that he's awesome. He's cool. The demo gave me a lot more practice with him, so now I actually feel competent enough to do some combos, do some confirms. So I feel great about that. I think that Luke is really going to have some promise in this game. Let's talk about Juri. So this is tough, because a lot of what Juri has would make me go ready and willing for her character. It really would. And so I will. I think that Juri has a cool looking aesthetic. Unfortunately though, there's so many people who already love Juri that does take her down a notch for me. I'm like, I can't find my real identity with the character. You know, Sake is definitely going to play the hell out of Juri, and he's going to be way better than me, that's for sure, as Juri. And so like, I'm not going to compete with him on that front. However, I could see myself enjoying her though. I could see myself messing around, picking her up, seeing how things go. I do think she has that potential in her. Let's talk about Cammy. Cammy, when I first saw her, I put her in Ready and Willing. However, seeing as how none of the other characters I have look like they're going to have exactly the same type of play style that she has, and I do think that she has some of the most hype supers in the game, I'm actually going to put her in pretty pumped. I am excited to try Cammy out. I think that she's going to be really fun, really cool. A lot of people are going to gravitate towards her. It looks sick. It looks sick. Her theme's pretty cool. I'm excited to give her a shot. I'm going to put her in pretty pumped. I'm excited to give her a go. E Honda should have been in Mech based on everything I've ever seen of the character before now. But that trailer, I won't lie to you, that trailer where you get to pray to the sun, you get the buffs, and then you get to fake a overhead stomp thing into a command grab, that intrigued me a lot. That makes him seem nuts. And while I'm not overly stoked about what he's got going on, I do think that he is worth the peak. I think that he's worth the peak. And so I might see myself giving him a shot at some point. However, the exact same thing applies to Blanka. Blanka's theme is cool, which helps. But also his design, I think, is really fun. You know, he's animalistic. He's not humanoid at all, which I appreciate. He's like a gorilla, like a green gorilla. I know he's been around forever, but I do think that the Blanka dolls having kind of the setup potential is really cool. The options that he has for having to choose when to use the Blanka dolls is also really sick. Like, there's stacks that you have to use in certain ways. You can't just blow them all. That's fun. He's got potential. He's got potential. So I'm going to say that he has a chance for me. I think we should probably talk about JP. Because if I was going off of design, like visuals, I was going off of design, JP would be way the hell up here. This man looks awesome. His neutral pose is very goofy, which I think actually helps. The cane is sick. The purple crap around him is very cool. But then I saw his gameplay, and while I thought a lot of stuff was neat, it's nothing that interests me that I'm going to be actually like excited about using in his gameplay. I think that there's a lot of long distance stuff going on, a lot of setups and traps, which I think is cool, but it's never been a playstyle that I've actually been able to enjoy or engage with much at all. This is one where I would be ready to be proven wrong, granted. However, I am gonna, oh no, he's too cool looking, man. He's too cool looking, shit. I mean, he's at the bottom of this list probably, but this list isn't really in order. I think that, actually this list is kind of in order. Nope, this is pretty close to how it is. Juri, I might stick down here though. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go and stick him down there. I'm not too bad about that. Yo, choose your words carefully, sir. I know, Sake, I know. Hey, I'm giving Juri to you, okay? I'm totally giving Juri to you, and I could give her a shot. But yeah, and then JP, I told you, man, I love the way he looks, but I don't want to play him. So again, another character you have every right to take and use as your own and use against me and abuse the hell out of him and show me how sick he is. And I am ready and willing to learn to see how cool he is. Not going to put him in meh. Not going to put him in meh. So out of these 3 characters, let's talk about the one that I'm never going to touch in my entire existence in this game. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. I have no desire to play this character. I've never had a desire or interest in this character, and that is Dhalsim. So, Dhalsim's in the no touchy. I do not care to try him out. I think that his extended limbs is gonna look funny when used for like custom characters. People are gonna enjoy that. They're gonna have a good time. Making their characters look like absolute abominations. Which is good and bad. I mean, it's going to look gross, but like people are having fun, so it's good too. Nothing interests me about Dhalsim. I appreciate that he's been this type of character for this long, and he still is. I think that's really cool. But he is not doing it for me. Okay, now we have 2 characters left. Both of them have grabs of some kind. But yeah, they're very, very different body types. Let's go ahead and talk about Lily first. Lily, my friend, I'm going to put her in pretty pumped. I think that Lily looks fun. I think she looks cool and cute and like funny. And so I appreciate the different type of character that she is, you know, kind of bumbling over what she's doing. I think that's really cool. I actually think that's like an awesome idea for a character. And I appreciate that. I think honestly, I'm excited to see how she's going to play, what she's going to do. She also has stacks, which means a lot. She's got the wind that makes her stronger. She could be a footsies monster with how big her weapons are. And so it's possible that she's going to be a freaking animal. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. And last but not least, let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Zangief. So this is tough because my boy Lassie is absolutely going to be playing the hell out of this character, as is his right. But the fact that but prior to the trailer, he would have been, honestly, he may have been here. Zangief may have been in the meh category, because I've seen this guy for years. We all have. And I think his design is, like, fine. He looks like absolute crap in Street Fighter V. He looks so weird. But that's me coming from a 2023 lens, right? So, you know, I know that game's been around for a long time. But yeah, I was not a fan of how he looked. However, once they put him in pants, the pants brought him to up here. And then once they put him as an actual pro wrestler, you know, like actually calling out his moves, doing taunts to the crowd, then they put him here. Then once they gave him one of the sickest theme songs in the entire game, that stuck him right up here for me. I'm like, yep, okay. I want to use this man while listening to his music and beating the crap out of other characters. I think that it's going to be a freaking blast. Zangief looks like just so much fun. So that gives us 8 characters in this upper half of the tier list. So that's almost half the roster that I am excited to play. And we only have 1 character I'm not touching. We have 2 characters that don't interest me. I would love for this game to prove me wrong in just the best way and make me fall in love with every one of these characters. But that being said, that is my tier list for which characters I'm most hyped for. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, right? Who you're most hyped for. If you watch this on YouTube, then yeah, feel free to leave a subscribe, and I will can't wait to jump into this game, honestly. This month is such a long month. But man, it's gonna be so great. Okay, that's it.